Abhinandan is already ready to test body, mind, and soul. You can see him in the lab.
सर नमस्ते, सभी को नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
सर पहले आपका वीडियो चलेगा या स्लाइड्स चलेगी?
वेल आई वुड लाइक के हम पहले थोड़ा सा सब्जेक्ट पर थोड़ा सा बोल लेते हैं, बिकॉज फिलोसफी इज वन ऑफ द एरियाज ऑन विच वी आर टॉकिंग इन द फिलोसफी कैफे। सो योर फिलोसफी कैफे
पहले खुद चलेंगे।
तो थोड़ा सा उसका जो बेस है वो बात करते हैं, क्योंकि मैं आप जैसे बड़े बड़े विद्वानों के समक्ष तो कुछ नहीं हूं, लेकिन फिर भी पिछले काफी वर्षों से इस विषय पर कार्य किया है, तो वो चाहते हैं कि उसको हम आगे बढ़ाएं। बलराम जी ने मुझे बोला भी था, तो हमने वो एथनोग्राफी टेस्ट के लिए हमने शुरू किया है प्रोग्राम, which results will come after about 6 months time. It will take.
Very good, very good.
और हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, as you advised, we are working on it. तो अभी मैं चाहूंगा कि एक तो सभी religions are philosophies, that is how we understand. तो there are about 16 major religions in the world, and they have got 4,000 sects out of them, and we are 8 billion people. तो हर व्यक्ति
Have you started the talk or we are?
I think I've started,
Not
sir.
yet. Not
Yeah,
yet,
it looks
sir.
like you have started.
I will introduce you then over to.
Okay, okay.
मैंने सोचा कि आलोक जब तक हाँ नहीं करते तब तक शुरू नहीं हो सकता।
ठीक है जी, ठीक है जी।
Namaskar and very good afternoon to all of you. We are here again in Philosophy Cafe series.
आवाज कम है।
And
आवाज धीरे आ रही है आपकी, थोड़ा थोड़ा गरज के बोलिए।
Namaskar, we are here again for Philosophy Cafe series, and today's speaker is Dr. C.K. Bhardwaj. He is an educationist, researcher and the founder of CoAIM, Correlation of Attention, Information and Material. He also serves as the General Secretary of Sawan Adhyatmic Satsang Society, SASS, New Delhi. His work focuses on value-based education, ethics, meditation, and the scientific study of consciousness. He has contributed to the curriculum development at the school level and also as well as the higher education level in collaboration with organizations such as UNESCO, NCERT, CBSE, and AICTE. So we welcome you, sir. And today's Philosophy Cafe topic is philosophy of CoAIM theory and practice. Over to you, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, dear Alok. So I'll just go back to my point about the philosophies, because we got to understand that how these philosophies really work, you know. Each philosophy, as I was explaining, there are 16 major religions in the world, and these are all philosophies, you know. Or can we do Hindi and English together?
Yeah,
Or
anything else, Sanskrit or French also chalega.
I know only this.
I know you had a friend who is a French, right?
Yeah, that's right, sir. That's right. So, okay, हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में मिक्स करके बात करते हैं। तो मैं फिर से वो बात रिपीट करता हूं कि 16 मेजर रिलीजन्स आर फिलोसफीज, एंड these philosophies really help you develop your psychology, and psychology helps you to develop your behavior. looking into this, as we could see that 16 major religions and 4,006, 8 billion people on this earth, what really we do, we have little knowledge of our own religions, not complete knowledge, so that half knowledge is always there. Then we learn from our home, from the school, from the society, and finally we develop our own philosophy. And that philosophy really helps us to develop our own psychology, and that's how we have our behaviors. And 8 billion people behave differently, so how the peace will come was a real challenge, you know. So we thought, why not work on a philosophy which can really help all of us together, and we can feel that how things will work out. Because this particular philosophy, which covers up almost, which can bind all the religions together. Because as per Indian knowledge system, the God was one and alone in the beginning. So हमारे यहाँ श्लोका आया ना जी, एक अहम बहुश्याम. So he became from one to many. That being of light was in bliss and it was enjoying. That's how some of the saints explained this. And this is how he became from one to many. So once he became from one to many, the sound emerged. And that being of light became from one to many. We are all part of that, as we understand through Indian knowledge system, that we are all souls connected to the super soul through the audible stream of life. We call it as nada. And the same is in the Bible also, that God is light and the word was made flesh. So there is a connection with the word, you know. Similarly, with Quran also, the God is known as Noor, and there is a word known as Kalma. Second word is South. The third is Bange Asmani, etc. So these are all sounds, you know. So I would like to say in Quran, God is Noor, and the connection is through this Kalma. So these are the basics of all the different religions. It is light and sound. And I would like to say here that your soul is a creative intelligence, particle of that light, connected through the wave to its source. So we can introduce latest theory of particle and wave theory, where it is explained that particle behaves intelligently. And the creation is an intelligent design. Even a blade of grass is intelligently designed. So we would like to consider this particle of light, which we are as a soul, connected to our source through the audible stream of life. So it is light and sound, basically, that consciousness. I would like to connect that the totality of consciousness is connected to all of us. So we are connected with that through the audible stream of life. And as per scriptures, you know, there are certain postulates also we are trying to take it up so that we can really work on it. And this philosophy is under consideration. Axiology, odontology, ontology, and epistemology, etc., are being worked through some experts on it. But here I would like to explain the basis of the philosophy. Now, the outer expression of your attention, of your soul, is your attention. And attention, we are explaining this, that attention as creative intelligence, representing the totality of consciousness. So this is where we start with, that this creative intelligence, the outer expression, attention, and this attention is like an omni-scanner. And wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So I would like to explain here that this is part of all-knowing, all-pervading. So one part of that, because once he became from one to many, In our postulate, we are saying that one particle of light, known as Higgs boson, we have understood that through this Switzerland research on Higgs boson, that it had the ability to attract. So they called it as goddamn particle. So the publisher said, please remove the word damn out of that. So let it be God particle. So this particular particle has got an ability to attract. So it created the material, out of non-material, the material got created. Again, these are postulates for the philosophy and being explained in science very well, that the first atom was created as hydrogen, where two things been together. I think we can go to the next slide here. Alokji, if you can help me to go to the next slide and show this, that how, this is what is a Planck satellite camera, and there is a video down there. This is what shows that the whole cosmos is one living entity. We will come to this little later. So please let us go to the next slide, where we are trying to explain the Higgs boson. So now Higgs boson has got the ability to attract. You can see it here. That small little dot having that crown has got the ability to attract. So it attracted two things together, one electron and a proton. Of course, there is a lot of details like quarks and string theory, etc. All these together, if you consider, it had the ability to attract. So it attracted one electron and a proton, and it created the first atom as hydrogen. So we go to the next slide, and you can see that this is how the hydrogen atom, the first one, is created. Now the second is that if two hydrogen atoms are fused together through the Higgs field again, because it has got the ability to attract. So then the next slide shows you that two hydrogen atoms together created the helium. Hydrogen and helium fused together created the first galaxy of suns. There were no planets. That is how the science explains. Then how two suns together, you can go to the next slide. And here in this, I can show you this, that the central point here is known as pulsar. If one sun is condensed into a size of Delhi, which becomes so powerful and so strong, 3 times my sun, it starts emitting these gamma rays, millions of degrees, and there is a revolving sun all around it. You may be able to see that video which is down there, which will really play, and something wonderful is visible, that how one sun is burning the other one and creating those ionized material in the very high temperatures known as ionized material, which are 100 and odd elements. This is a postulate we have taken up. So this is how all these elements got created. And then you will see the other videos also, where you will be able to see how our earth got formed, how water came in, how all these elements were created. You can go to the next slide. Then I'll come and explain all those aspects a little more detail. So these are 100 and odd elements created by that ionized material. And please go to the next slide. And then, then how my earth got created. It was a molten lava. The iron material, once those two suns together, which are creating this, they blast. New suns are made. And they carry their gaseous material into different directions. So once my earth got formed, it was revolving 6 hourly. Another molten body comes and hits the earth. The earth slows down to 23 hours, 56 minutes and few seconds. And it tilted 23.5 degrees. It tilted, If it would not have tilted, the weathers would not have come. So in this philosophy, we are trying to explain how the creation came up, how non-material created the material, how my earth got formed, and then how the water came in. Now you can go to the next slide, please. And you can see that in the center, the sun is there and all those gaseous materials are cooling down, which you will be able to see in the videos which I have attached to you with the last slides, not here. It is quite down there. This is something different. This is about language, my dear. So let us go to the next one. Next slide. Next one after this. Now, okay, let me show you those videos which you had in the last, if you can hurriedly go to the last 2-3 videos which I have attached, because that is what will show you that how things have worked up there. So if you can start that, you will all love it, At the end, there are videos. I sent you separately, not in the PPT, but separately there are. This is the one which really shows you. This is a Planck satellite camera. I was trying to tell you that this camera scanned the whole sky and it created a beautiful picture of the whole cosmos, the visible universe. I'm not talking about theories of all other aspects, multiverses, etc. I'm talking about the visible universe. So this visible universe has been done by this camera and a wonderful picture has emerged. Now this whole cosmos, which has got billions of stars and galaxies. So I would like to explain that this visible universe has got 3 basics, One is the floating material bodies like my Earth, Sun, Moon, and stars. This is the whole cosmos which is visible. And it is expanding at the moment. So this visible universe has got 3 basics, as I was explaining. It has got floating material bodies, Then it has got that gravitational magnetic field which operates the whole cosmos from Big Bang to black hole. That is what I would like to call it as universal mind, because this field is embedded with information systems like 2G, 3G, 6G, internet, radio communication, etc., satellite communication. Plus, it has got chemistry, physics, maths, all in it. And if the apple falls, the scientist calculates the laws of nature. Every action has got an equal and opposite reaction. So this complete universe, that visible universe, is being operated by gravitational magnetic fields, which I would like to call as universal mind. Then the third thing in the whole universe is particle and wave theory, which is energizing this field and each atom. It's a living entity. So this huge expanding universe, which has started 13.7 billion years ago, it is going to go on for another 22 billion years, as science has evaluated and calculated. उनको प्रमाण मिले, उन प्रमाणों के आधार पर उन्होंने अनुमान लगाए. And that's how the whole cosmos is like this. Now, I would like to say that these 3 units of the whole cosmos, floating material bodies, the universal mind, and the absolute intelligence capable force, which is energizing the field, and each atom is a living entity. And we here, each living entity on this earth, or anywhere maybe in different planets, is also 3. So I would like to say this body, mind, and soul are connected with the body, mind, and soul of the whole cosmos. So this is how we can really correlate our entity with the absolute. So my soul is connected to the source, and the outer expression of my soul is my attention. And attention, I said that it is like an omniscanner. Wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So what my attention did, that it had acquired the mind from the universal mind, because I am representing the absolute here. I acquired the mind known as causal mind and created a causal body as Ardhanarishwar. Indian knowledge system explains that part. Half man and half woman, because the cause was to come and feel the time-bound material creation. We are timeless, as Atma is. Everybody understands this part. So once we acquired the mind and created that sketch that sometimes will become a woman or a man and experience this time-bound material creation, we took the next step known as astral mind and astral body. So we planned, because soul has got beautiful attributes. One of them is state-of-art planning ability and its execution ability. It is not the attribute of the mind. Mind is only providing you information. But the driving force is your attention. Wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So this attention really had known all these laws of nature and created that sketch and created an astral mind and astral body where it had planned to make from a single cell to the crown of creation the human body, which has got more than 37 trillion cells. All that chemistry is going to happen now. Let me explain, because Balramji is working on chemistry in a beautiful manner. The genetic codes and everything you are doing, and something wonderful is happening here. I would like to explain that this attention is a capable force. It had acquired that mind, then it planned in the astral region to plan the first single cell to go to the crown of creation, the human body. So I have got one of the videos which you will see later. It is, it is from Ohio University, that how life started. The first single cell came up. As they say, that if light and sound strikes on pure elements, converts them into amino acids, as per laws of nature, because we have acquired the mind. Laws of nature and information system we have acquired. So what we did as a soul, that we used the pure elements which converted them into amino acids. And amino acids synthesize the proteins available in the water. Because since my earth got formed, some of the comets came and hit the molten earth. The water came in, the seas got formed, the tectonic plates, the upper crust was solidifying. It crashed with each other. Himalayas got created, and tectonic plates are still moving, and things on like that. Science knows everything. So this is how the water came in, and all those elements in the water, they were boiling and cooling down, created those proteins. So the first life starts known as synthesis of proteins. Proteins are synthesized if light and sound strikes on pure elements, converts them into amino acids, and amino acids synthesize the proteins to become the first life on earth as amoeba. You're teaching your children. Now this amoeba has got a material body, it has got a mind also, and it has got a creative intelligence. Now the 4 layers of mind are already there. Universal, causal, astral, and then physical. You formed it. Now this single cell dies after a while, because it's a time-bound program. That algae remains for a while, and it has got that ability to become from one to many again. So this single cell amoeba dies after a while. The body remains here. The mind, which deals with the information, the experiences and events happened in that small single cell, along with the creative intelligence, goes back to the astral region where it had planned from a single cell to the human body. हमारे यहाँ कहते हैं ना 84 लाख जोनियों से होते हुए मनुष्य शरीर का बनाने का program. So what really happens? That the soul and the mind goes back to the astral region. I call it as creative intelligence, which remains connected to absolute. It goes back to the astral region, comes out again to make a double cell organism. It makes that, experiences all that, and again goes back to come out again to make a multi-cell organism. Now what is happening? That the information of the first cell gets enriched in the double cell organism. The same information gets added into the multi-cell organism. And if you look now as a human being, the doctor checks your saliva to check your COVID. What he looks at your genes. And genes have got all that information, that how much it matches with what animal. 8.4 million species, you had gone through. So कितना वो percentage बंदर से मिलता है, कितना चूहे से मिलता है, कितना बनमानस से मिलता है, and then you created the human body. So this is what is available in your genetic code. That genome has worked so much, and you are working on it, my dear. So this is how that genetic thing has come up to this level, and you are trying to help do this a noble job you are doing there. And Balramji, I'm really surprised to see all that work which was happening there. So let me continue with my explanation, that this is how after the apes you became human beings. And here in this body, you have got more than 30 trillion cells, and each cell is a living entity. We eat, new cells are made, the old ones go out, it's like a river. Only those few cells in the brain, we understand that they don't reproduce again through that which we go through our karma part, So let me explain that part also a little later. But something wonderful is there which we have taken up in this philosophy of CoAIM theory and practice. Now, say once we have become human beings, since then we became selfish, because we thought we are a body only. So we were the body deals with hunger, clothes, housing, vanities of the world, sex and sleep. Whereas the mind which is there with us, a physical mind, is again dealing with the experiences and events which are related to lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, pre-calculate fears and worries, pre-calculate the future, fears and worries get added as information also. So mind is nothing but information of all those experiences. Something wonderful is here, that the karma theory goes on further here, because the universal mind that operates the whole cosmos through gravitational magnetic fields operates your physical mind as well. Because that high tide, low tide affects the seas. Your body has got 75-80% water in it. When it triggers that, it triggers certain components of your brain dealing with lust, anger, ego, attachment or deceit, fears and worries, etc. And your moods will get swayed. Something wonderful happens here. Now, how the universal mind runs your mind to settle the karma theory, which Indian scriptures has been talking about in details, that how really it has happened, how we go through our karmas. And the soul, which has acquired the mind and created the body, is a part to understand, that you are that capable force which has acquired the mind and created the body. And after you have created the body, the outer expression is your attention. And wherever this attention goes, the divine energy flows. Because the attention, which is connected to its source in real time, starts going through your mind, all the 4 layers of mind also, because your attention is a capable force. If you withdraw this attention in meditation, you get connected and you traverse through your astral region, the dream state, etc. Then you go further into the causal region in meditation. Then you go to the universal and then go beyond. And all that beyond is not somewhere up in the sky. It is within you. It is withdrawal of attention. That's how we've been working on Gurbani and Kabir also, who've been talking about this, that how to withdraw this attention within. That place within you where time and material do not exist. In that meditation, you experience this part. So the people, they've been meditating and getting all that knowledge. All the Vedas have descended on them, my dear. And it's a beautiful small little video I have prepared on Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikhari, that how this language descends on us. So let me explain that part first, that how universal mind runs your mind and that settles your karma part. And all the time we are stuck up here. And in meditation, we got to learn how to delink the attention from body and mind. We got to learn how to ignore this ignorant mind. Otherwise, the mind keeps on involving your attention into mundane jobs, which are that information which the mind is trying to provide you all the time, past and future, and the needs of your body. 24/7, that is what is involving you. So in meditation, you delink this attention and link it to the source, and you withdraw this attention. I've sent you a photograph also where this eye we have shown that these two eyes are cameras. Two optical nerves go and run and meet in the center of the head where the ears are also connected. And the picture is formed at the back. So that location is the thing where the attention has to be withdrawn. I would like to cover a few more points here quickly. That's something wonderful we could study. That my mother, when she conceived me, she wanted that I should work on science and spirituality. जो विज्ञान और अध्यात्म का मैं समन्वय करूं. So when she conceived me in 1941, she meditated that my child should work on science and spirituality. It all happened because I was talking on genetic engineering in New Medical College here near Delhi. And again, on 17th and 18th, I'm going to this Shri Rama Himalayan Medical College in Dehradun to talk on this particular aspect. What I'm trying to say here in genetic engineering, that if you look at that bagula, that heron bird in the field of the rice, small legs and small beak, now the environment has changed and that converts into a big saras, pelican, long legs and long beak, because the water is much more, it needs longer legs, like giraffe also, it has got 7 bones in the neck, but the attention was to eat the tender leaves from the top of the tree. Environment was such. So it increased his leg and necks, something like that. So what is really happening in the genetic development of that small little bird converting into a crane? Environment has changed it. Now for 9 months, the environment is under the control of the mother. If everybody in the family keeps her calm, she understands this concept, she meditates also, then what can happen? She can design that baby and she can do those changes in the genes. So that's an area where you are working already. And this is what this particular concept can really bring so many changes, that through meditation, what you can do. Because each person is differently developed here. And we are all, as I was explaining, that 8 billion people on this earth, if they all know that they are representing the divine, mind is only information and the body is only material. So this is what will bring that sustainable human transformation. That if people can understand that they are divine, and if we can prove it with your help through the science and logic, if everybody knows, we are even planning a movie on it, my dear. We would like to talk, this time I'll be going to US in July, and I'll be there after that conference in Iowa. I'll be there till 25th of September, would like to visit Hollywood also. Of course, we are talking with Bollywood people also to make a movie on it. How the whole creation started, non-material created the material, how life started from a single cell to graduate to the human body, and how we started living as different tribes, how tribes are fighting with each other. A young man and a woman, both of them, they love each other, and we have added the love story to the whole concept, that they love each other and they are killed. Now they are reborn here in the modern times, one in Hamas and other one is Israel. They are all fighting these Abrahamic religions. So they come to India, they learn this particular concept, and they start meditating, and they know how to leave the body, out-of-body experiences. So now they know that these 3 fellows are different: body, mind, and soul. How to really rise above body and mind and have an out-of-body experience. So this is how we are 3 in 1 exactly, and how we can really sit in meditation and withdraw the attention to to leave the mind also. Otherwise, what happens in my scriptures, it is written, ant mataha sogataha. At the time of death, you know, whatever your thought process is, attention is drawn towards that. And that brings us into the new karma, in the new life, you know. Time and again, we are born. And this cycle has to be broken in this meditation technique where you know how to delink your attention while dying from the mind also. Because mind is involving you. You are not this mind. You have acquired the mind and created the body for a while to experience this time-bound material creation. So this is what we've been working on, and all these slides I have already sent you. Now, if you can show those videos, which will give you a wonderful idea, and I may send you another video right now, which is on evolution. That is what I would like to send you, Alok. And then first of all, you show this, and then you show this this video, you know, please. All these videos you can show. It is already there with you. Ohio University. Now you can show these because these are choti hain, 1-2 minute ke hain. Everybody can enjoy this part. If you can show this, please. Now this is how one sun in the center, which is a neutron star, is burning this revolving sun and converting into ionized material all around. And the sun is burning continuously for millions of years, and then it is reduced and finishes. These two suns together, at the end they blast, new suns are produced, they carry away their gaseous material into different directions. And that's how the ionized material, 100 and odd elements got created. That is what we would like to explain here through this video. It's a beautiful scene that how it is burning that sun and creating those elements. In the beginning, there was a first galaxy of suns. In my scriptures, it is said, कि पहला ज्ञान सूर्य को दिया. So this was only the suns which were having hydrogen and helium burning in them. So they were so close like Earth and Moon circuits that central sun, which is in pulsar, neutron star, burning the sun and creating those 100 and odd elements as per periodic table. So this is what is one of the postulates, but this is what is clear. Science is agreeing to this. So all those aspects of dentology, ontology, epistemology has to be done. You know, it has yet to be done. So you can show the next video, which is another wonderful thing where you are seeing that how your earth got formed. Now, in the center, you have got this sun, and all those gases are there, but gradually they are cooling down and forming different planets. In this video, you will be able to see that how your earth is getting formed into a molten lava, and how it is revolving 6-hourly. There's a BBC documentary that how these things are cooling down gradually and forming this molten body. It is even now today, the earth is molten down below. And this is how this earth got formed, and it was revolving 6-hourly. Now, another molten body comes and hits that how the earth slows down to 23 hours, 56 minutes, and few seconds. This is what is happening here in this video, you will find. And then it tilts 23.5 degrees. It's an intelligent design again. If it would not have tilted, the weathers would not have come. It's a wonderful area to look at, that how your earth got formed, slows down, and whatever flew into the sky becomes the moon, which is again, all that mass is being attracted, you know. So mass has got that ability, as Higgs boson explains that part, that it attracts and it creates that mass and that gravitational field. Now look how the moon got formed into the sky. And this is how the moon got formed. And then some of the comets came and hit the molten earth, the water comes in. because they punch at different places and the tectonic plates got formed. Now you can show the next video where you will find that I'm trying to hurriedly explain all this, but then we can, now this is what we have done on language, I think. If we can put it on, the sound also should be there, my dear. If you can put on the sound. A little louder, please. Well, we can't hear that sound. Anyway, I'll just explain, let the video go on, that the language comes from beyond. Because Maharishi Panini said, Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikhari. So I would like to explain that Para is beyond and Pashyanti is the head, you know, where there is seat of three things together. The seat of the soul, as I explained, where two optical nerves meet in the center of the head. Then there is a seat of your mind in between the eyes and above the nose. And then there is a seat of your brain. So this is what Pashyanti has got. So the beautiful essence which you were to speak descends from para, means from beyond. And then it is handed over to the mind. Mind is going into past and future, anger, worries, and egos, etc. So mind has not been told. Beauty is that mind is education based only. Whatever you teach, it knows only this, nothing more than that. Somebody is taught English, or somebody knows Mandarin, somebody is an engineer, somebody is a doctor. So this language comes there, but the mind has ignored it. So what it does, it infuses high tide, low tide. Through high tide, low tide, it triggers your brain. And it sends those electrical movements into the brain. And that language which is laden with lust, anger, ego, attachment, deceit, fears, and worries is coming out of your mouth through your larynx and pharynx. Because all these spandans go all over your body, including the central diaphragm. We call it as Madhyama. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari. Because that central diaphragm between the lungs and the stomach moves small puffs of air through the lungs, through the larynx, pharynx, the language comes out as Vaikhari. So this is how we speak the language, but children have not been told that the bhasha comes from beyond. How mind is polluting the language and creating these problems, including today's wars, like Trump is fighting, like Putin and all those people in Hamas and Israel. Everybody is fighting due to the language, because nobody knows how to speak good language. So this is what is one of those beautiful areas. Now, you can show that video, my dear, where this life is there, Ohio University video, the start of life, that how light and sound creates that life.
We had the 4 videos only.
Yeah, there is one more, Alokji, I have sent. It is in your WhatsApp. I can see it is there. If you can find out the last one.
Okay, sir. It will take 2-3 minutes, so I request you to please go to the slide. Then I will download it and put
Okay. That is, yeah. That will be wonderful to show the origin of life. Is a wonderful area to see. Ohio University confirmed it, that how light and sound strikes on pure elements, converts them into amino acids. And what is really happening in your genes, you know, trillion times per second, the information is being changed from one gene to the other one, because you are becoming from one to many inside. This womb, what is really happening there? The mother's egg has got information of the nani, parnani, parpadnani right from the single cell. The sperm of the father, dada, pardada, parpardada, right from the single cell, all that information is there in that first single cell known as zygote in the mother's womb. This zygote cell has got all the genetic information from both of them. Now it decides, the creative intelligence within that cell decides how what will be the eye color of the eyes, what will the feature it will adopt, on the face. So this cell is becoming from one to many in the mother's womb. Ekam Bahusham is happening there. So this cell, when it reaches the location of the heart, it is becoming from one to many. Trillion times per second, it is changing all that information into a new cell. Once it reaches the location of the heart, that cell transforms itself into a cell of a heart and starts becoming from one to many to form the whole heart. The same cell goes down to the kidney and develops your kidney. The same cell develops your eye, which is more complex than your brain. Imagine that absolute intelligence and a capable force is functioning here in the human form. It is working here, and we have not recognized it. That being which really created everything, you are a capable force. You are part of that absolute intelligence and a capable force as a creative intelligence, which is creating artificial intelligence. Now see, because your attention is a capable force, it can go through all the information of the whole cosmos. Information systems, laws of nature, chemistry, physics, maths. Then it further percolates into the causal mind and causal body because you had a cause. And that omni-scanner was reduced only for that cause to a smaller area to create that human body, Ardhanarishwar, to experience this time-bound material creation. So you further did that part and, condensed that omni-scanner into a smaller torchlight kind of a thing to look into the astral region and then into the physical part. So we are an omni-scanner. We can do much more without, using that AI. Of course, it is giving us a lot of benefits. We can use that, but we should not dampen the mind. We should not dampen our soul, but with a view, with a humanistic angle, how to really behave properly here. And then in that movie also, we are planning to show you something wonderful there, that how these two young men and a woman get married. They have got out-of-body experiences, one from Israel, one from Hamas. Now, the girl is pregnant, the boy is terminally ill, some kind of a disease, cancer or whatever. His head, as per karma theory, his head is lying in the lap of the girl. Both of them, they sit in meditation and have an out-of-body experience. The boy leaves the body. The girl also leaves the body and the mind, and they are in the purest region where time and material do not exist. Now the boy remains there, the girl comes back because she has to rear that child because she is pregnant. And then she starts teaching all that courses which we are developing for children right from the nursery onwards, because we have taken a story of the seed. Seed is also three, my dear. It has got a material body. It has got a mind. Mind means wo gehu ka hai, chane ka hai, ya aam ka hai. And third thing is the creative intelligence in that. That mind already knows how many branches will be there, will ripen, because they are connected with the nature also. Laws of nature are embedded in there. So now look how that seed starts triggering. If you put it in the dry sand, it won't germinate. So we are making the child and scientists right from the beginning that if you put that seed in a dry sand, it won't germinate. As soon as you put water onto that, the life triggers into it, multitasking. And then what really happens, the bud starts looking towards the sun. It already knew how to use solar energy, my dear. It is part of all-knowing, all-pervading. 4 or 5 inches, we cover it up with a box to block the sun and make a hole underneath near the roots from where a sun ray goes every morning. This plant turns down and comes out of that hole towards the sun. That proves that wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So this is how we got to understand this part, that how it really works. It's amazing Those women in Myanmar, they put those rings around the neck. Bones are only 7, but they make the neck taller by about a feet. But wherever the attention goes, the divine energy flows. So beautiful attributes of this divine love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, humility, state-of-art planning ability, and its execution ability. If you are peaceful, then you can look at the information the mind is providing. You can pick up that information and then act upon. That's what is state-of-art planning ability. And that's how the humanity should know that they are divine. They have to deal with each other with that love, compassion, etc. So this movie can really bring a wonderful change, that this is how the creation got created, non-material created the material, how earth got formed, how life started, how it graduated, how we became selfish, how to become selfless now, how to educate the people that they are 3 in this body. So there's a wonderful, all this you can share with each other, the part. So what I'm saying, again, I'll come back to the point of correlation of your attention with information and material, because mind is already predestined, my dear. The whole creation is running in a predestined mode from Big Bang to black hole. The solar eclipse is already known after so many years. A comet will pass about 900 years near the sun and all. All these are predestined. Here, life is also predestined as per your karma. You have got only 2 free wills, my dear. One free will was to enter this time-bound material creation. The second one is to go back. Once you start working on these spiritual aspects, it means you are going back. And then the divine is helping you to do that. Otherwise, you are getting involved into time and material time and again. Life and death cycle is going on. Lord Krishna in the 7th chapter, 2nd shloka says, the knowledge has to be of a kind that after knowing, nothing remains to be known except living the knowledge and exploring it into your day-to-day life. If you know that you are divine, don't allow the mind to contaminate your attention, which has got beautiful attributes to live in peace and harmony in this world. So this is what is CoAIM theory and practice, that how attention is related. I mean, what is the correlation of your attention with information and material? Information you acquire and material you use. Both of them don't have their own energy. It is only your attention which energizes these two. Something similar, particle and wave theory. Absolute intelligence capable force energizes the whole quantum field. You may call it as Higgs field, and each atom. The same energy is energizing your mind and your body. And it is only in your hands, your attention, nothing else is with you. You give your attention or you don't give your attention. That is the only thing which is in your hands. Otherwise, the rest is all predestined, my dear. It's something wonderful which has to be understood. And if we can really understand this deeply, we can do wonders in our life. The whole education system will change, And this is what is Ohio State University clip, Origin of Life on Earth, Susan Fisher. And this is a wonderful video. If you can hear, the sound will be something wonderful. Sound is not here. Anyhow, all of you have got it. You can listen it. You can share with all of you. And something wonderful will happen, my dear. And this is what is going to change the whole world. This sustainable human transformation, all the, goals of UN, that sustainable goals can be achieved through this. Apart from this video where you will see that if you can hear, the sound will be wonderful. Lavish, इसको तुम साउंड इसकी लगा सकते हो उधर, सुनाई दे जाए?
चला रहे वही कर सकते हैं अपनी साइड से,
वो नहीं हो रही है उनसे।
बंद करना है, स्क्रीन शेयर में आवाज बंद कर दो।
Please open the screen share.
स्क्रीन शेयर में आवाज से ऑन।
Please put on the sound in the screen share. I think this is what will help you to give you the sound.
Yes, sir. I had did the same. I think
mixing, churning.
But this is a wonderful explanation by Ohio State University, how the first cell came up.
An occasional phosphorus atom breaches.
Yeah, it is coming. Good, thank you.
That will one day yield something wonderful, something living. New combinations flirt with being, but nothing so extraordinary as when the eternal darkness is shattered by God's own thunder. In the mercurial blackness, the power to transform is unleashed with Zeus's lightning bolt. Begetting in its sulfurous wake chemical progeny, a litter of new forms emerge: amino acids, sugars, triglycerides, nucleotides. They twist and turn in the watery cradle, the crucible of creation, the organic soup that holds an uncertain promise of a tenuous future. Silently, an amino acid reaches for another of its kind. Now a diet peptide. A third is added. Now a tripeptide. An eon or two of time passes. There is no hurry, no deadline, no plan. Only the endless testing of combinations, the relentless search for a stable outer shell of electrons. In the fullness of time, a protein is made, and then a carbohydrate, and at last, nucleic acids, the keeper of the code. The template of our inheritance is at last written. Encircled and enveloped by the Janus-faced one, seeking both water and lipid, a rippling membrane divides the world, creating inside and outside, the self and the other. Immortality is forged through the marriage between DNA and protein, a reciprocal bond, a chemical yin and yang, from which cellular obsession, practiced over and over, 1 trillion times per second.
Trillion times per second. Please mark these words.
Bequeathed by our ancestors, ceaselessly transcribing the encoded messages. A seeks out T. G accepts only C. Our biochemical bedrock, the ubiquitous proteins, is formed. And from so simple a beginning, the power to create life is unleashed on an unsuspecting planet.
So my dear, you could see that how light and sound helps create amino acids, triglycerides and all peptides, etc. to form the first life on earth as amoeba. And this is how that intelligent being who's working 24/7 within you helps you digest your food 24/7. It is, managing your blood flow. Everything is happening, my dear. So this attention is working all that, This is what we are trying to tell you, sir. By cultivating this conscious attention, we allow divine energy to flow naturally, shaping thoughts, actions, and outcomes. When inner awareness aligns with the wisdom, because this is what is wisdom, my dear, all-knowing, all-pervading. Mind is only information. It is not wisdom. We have got tremendous amount of knowledge, but no wisdom. So this attention works within you through intuitions as wisdom. Personal transformation evolves into sustainable and human change. Through CoAIM, each individual becomes a conscious participant in creating a balanced, compassionate, and evolving world. I think we have done our part here, that how the language comes, how life starts, and how we can really change this world by CoAIM theory and practice. And at the back, I have got this slide at the back of my computer. It is saying the potential of power of attention. because there is only one thing in you. That is what is your attention in your hands, whether you give or you don't give attention. If you give your attention to the mind, you are creating karmas, you are reacting and doing all that. If you don't do that, and if you run your life with divine attributes, which is love, compassion, mercy, wisdom, humility, of our planning ability, its execution ability, let us face as it comes, justice and appreciation of others. This is what has got all the solutions of life, my dear. There is nothing which does not have any solutions due to these divine attributes. So every child must know that he is divine. That's why we are trying to pursue it in the UN under the heading of right to enlightenment and duty to get enlightened. So that through UNESCO, through UNICEF, all this should go to 100 and odd countries. It should be compulsory once a week class to understand what potential they have got of these three, including skill. So what we have named it as Human Values, Ethics, Skills, Habits, and Wisdom Development Program. Because wisdom is how to use information, how to use this material available to us. That is what is wisdom. Yes. And if we are involving ourselves here, we are creating problems. Thank you very much, Alokji. Thank you very much. You have given me this opportunity to explain my full concept, full philosophy. Thank you very much. Please, now I would like to have your questions, comments on this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this enlightenment lecture. You have beautifully explained and in detail with theory and practice both. And through the visualizing effect which you showed here, we are very much thankful to you, because we are now understanding that what is the theory and how it's going in the practice and science. So your CoAIM theory is beautifully explained here. And for me, as a philosophy person, it is also a very enrichment thing. And it is also beautifully explained by you that there is 3 layers which you deal with. That the one is namely the physical body, which is the entity of the time-bound material creation, and the mind, which is the part of universal mind and containing the information system, and the third one, which is soul, and it's the part of the super soul. And there is somewhere the God exists. You beautifully explained. Now it's time for open discussion. So I would invite one by one for question, comment, and discussion.
Okay, Dr. Bhardwaj, it's Rajkumar here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, you started with neutron star. So neutron star is also a star before becoming a neutron star, right? So a star is made of mainly hydrogen, and they convert hydrogen to helium and by fusion, and that's how they become a star, and they radiate light also. But the origin is not, I guess, from origin of hydrogen. It's much below that, right? There must be some kind of a particle, which normally they say that these are bosons or Higgs boson. Those are the particle which originates the universe. So, since you are talking about the philosophy, I would like you to comment on what do you mean by singularity in philosophy? Means, where is there singularity at the beginning of the origin of the universe, or how it exists as a singularity at the beginning of the universe?
Wonderful, wonderfully, Rajkumarji, you have asked. It is definitely that singularity which really created everything. And once everything finishes, again, it gets back into that singularity. And that's all knowing, all pervading. And you have seen that there are 22 places these neutron stars are operating now, which are visible from this Earth. Science has found out 22 places where two suns, one is a neutron star, another fluffy sun is going around, and it is creating more elements. It's an expanding universe. At the same time, I would like to tell you that this singularity which you have raised the point, that everything comes from that. Recently, 3 Nobel laureates have been awarded that the creation is not real. It is just a dream. So I would like to quote that film, Inception, dream into dream into dream. So Carl, who created this time-bound material creation as one of the particles, and he had a dream to make this time-bound material creation. We as souls saw his dream and again started dreaming as a causal mind and a causal body. And then another dream started after that, known as astral mind and astral body. Then this is physical mind and physical body. So it is dream into dream into dream. Everything is still singular. If we go within ourselves, we will find that singularity within us. Because if we withdraw our attention, because it is going through all these minds and bodies, the attention is percolating through 37 trillion cells of the body, and through the senses of the body, it goes downwards and outwards into the world. So if you can understand that singularity here, I'm sure that this is what we want to bring in together, that this is all that singularity that matters. That is what everybody should understand. And if there is anything which can be really added to this, I will definitely hope that all of you will help us in proving this singularity.
Okay, but still one thing is not clear, and I think this seminar is not enough for making this clear also. But I just want to raise one thing also, that the singularity, when you talk about this concept of singularity, that is violation of a parity principle of physics, because then singularity won't exist. And as well as when you connect singularity with the time, then the origin is somewhere else than the singularity. Because when at the origin of life, time also doesn't exist. And also Rig Veda also say in the Sadhya Sut that time didn't exist when things started. So thank you, but I think that's what I want to say right now.
No, I agree with you on certain aspects, but the singularity is finally proved through science also, because science talks about it from Big Bang to black hole. Again, it finishes, again, it starts. So the whole creation is cyclic. Of course, Ekam Bahusham, again, it says, our Indian scriptures have been explaining it. But now how to connect through science and logic, we got to work together and prove this part to the whole world. I think we can do that.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Dr. Prasant Sukla sir had raised his hand. So,
thank you, Dr. Bhardwaj. It was a very interesting session. So I was actually engrossed with your presentation. But I have a query. As we all know, Aristotle gave a very romanticized version of the evolution of the state when he explained the state is like an organ or an organism. So the state has the hand, the feet, the stomach, and the brain. And so on, the state functions exactly like the human body. Well, it was interesting, but it was an analogical predictions, I must say. There was another philosopher who for the first time mentioned that there are two forces named as love and hate which govern the universe. Later on, the scientists used a technical term centripetal force and centrifugal force for the same. Now, the kind of version you gave regarding the evolution of the cosmos is really interesting. but the analogy is somewhat a romantic interpretation and, of course, a sort of analogy. It seems so interesting in poetics, but I'm not sure such kind of analogy. I mean, comparing the entire evolution with, let's say, a relationship between bodies of the male and the female. Don't you think that we are stretching the matter too far? Your opinion, sir?
Well, it is not too far because, it is Ardhanareshwar means that, well, one of the saints in the beginning said that Prem Sindh se mauj ut jagat kiya ujjas, Satgur Roop Avatar Dar Ghat Ghat Prem Prakas. Everybody has talked about love and devotion. Even God is love in Quran as well. In Bible. Whereas in Quran also they said Sufism talks about love. We talk about love. Kabir talked about love. Guru Nanak Dev talked about love. Lord Krishna talks about love. So to love, he became from one to many. We've been loving him and he been loving us. That's how the saints explained that part. And now the essence is love, my dear. And it is again all-knowing, all-pervading. And now you have understood all that we tried to put up here so that everybody should understand this particular aspect, because this philosophy really brings us together. Now, there are philosophies who divide people, that is what has to be looked into. And as far as science is concerned, finally, you will know this. Gradually, the science is progressing, going towards that. And the mind is playing a major role here, my dear. Point is that my mind is connected with media. And media is managed by 8 billion people on this earth. Everybody is trying to say something or the other. So this is what is happening. So we must tame the mind to understand how media is doing all this and how we should really work it. So this is what is so important for us to know, that how we can really understand this phenomena, this CoAIM theory and practice, how we can really convey this Jnanam Suvijnanam to the whole world to understand this so well. So I think we can work together on it.
Sir,
yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt here, but what you are calling as philosophy or philosophies is not exactly philosophy. It may be spiritualism, it may be a kind of religion. Now, that is my point. You are giving an explanation which seems to be scientific, and then you are justifying it with the verses from, let's say, Upanishad or the Quran. Now, that is a sort of category mistake. You cannot explain a scientific evolution with the help of Chaupai or the verses. That is my concern, sir.
Yeah, no, that is, you are right. We cannot do that. But just to explain you this phenomena is one of the areas. Of course, whether you want to make a Chaupai or you don't want to add anything from there, it is good. If we can purely do it through science and logic, we will win the game, because this is how the people will understand. Since you are all here from the Indian, Indian religion, so I can really talk about these lines. Otherwise, I don't. When I'm explaining purely through science and logic, I'm not explaining any verses from here. That's what I want to say.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We have 10 minutes more. So, Dr. Abhinandan Maditripathi has a question, please.
Namaste, sir.
Okay.
I have two questions, one related to evolution and one related to the CoAIM theory. So is there any experimental or scientific method to validate the CoAIM theory, especially the relationship between attention, information, and material reality?
I think mind is only information. You can experience it yourself, and we can develop all that. We are doing some ethnography tests, etc. So things will come up much better. My colleague, Dr. Shiv Sachit is working on it, and we are trying to prove it through science and logic, everything in the right manner.
सर, लेकिन इसमें प्रॉब्लम एक ये हो जाएगा ना कि सबका एक्सपीरियंस अलग अलग होता है, तो इसको साइंटिफिक हम लोग नहीं बोल सकते. ये तो एक्सपीरियंस है आपका, बिकॉज in science we need a lot of data to validate one thing. सभी डेटा एक जैसे आने चाहिए, तब हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि हाँ जो भी है। यस सर।
भैया इसी के लिए बात कह रहे हैं कि माइंड इज ओनली इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम. नाउ everybody will talk from the mind as it has been informed. A person living in China, he will talk about those things which he knows. A student who is in a different area, he will talk only on those areas. So mind is only information. That is what everybody can, and we can prove that part. किसी को information दिया या किसी को नहीं दिया. So this is mind is information we are explaining, and the driving force. So wherever the attention goes.
Okay. Our second question is related to evolution. The first cell originated about 3.5 million years ago. Why did complex organisms like humans appear so late on Earth history? And what might be the future of human evolution, according to your opinion?
In my opinion, the human evolution, we are going to become superhumans as the progress of all this information goes on. An ordinary man will become a superhuman by having all this information about this CoAIM or about spirituality, about knowing that this is how this will increase. And this is how things will be getting better in future. So this is what is the future of that. And as far as you are asking about the developments, it definitely takes in a very systematic manner, and it has taken single cell, double cell, multi-cell. So all this organism gradually developed, and it is Darwin's evolution theory explains this part. I've sent a chart also. You can see that chart, that how you have developed all these different bodies at different times and circumstances, and the environment made you change this. This is what happens. So it is a gradual development, my dear. Whether it is fast or slow, I can't say that, but it all depends that how you are well informed about it.
Thank you, Dr. Abhinandan, and thank you, sir. So I will request Professor Balram Singh, sir, for his comment, and if he has any query, sir, please.
I thought Dr. Jayanti Sahu had raised her hand. But Dr. Jayanti Sahu, did you want to ask something?
Ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
maybe
good evening, sir.
Okay.
I just have a query. I just missed the lecture. Actually, I joined late, but just want to know from that, from the audience also, and from the Professor Bhardwaj also. Like when we speak in Indian philosophy, we find two different kinds of interpretation regarding mind. One is Upanishad, speaks about the mind and its limitations, mind as a process. And when we come to Nyaya-Vaisesik, we find a different kind of interpretation. Mind has a major role to play in the CoAIM theory. So how do you perceive these two interpretations of mind? And I think Nyaya-Vaisesik, they don't speak about the limitations of the mind. But Upanishad and Vedanta, they do speak about the mind doesn't have a role to play, much role to play when it comes to consciousness. It is the source of energy, or what you say, CoAIM theory, how it works to establish love, compassion, and all these things. There you find that the process theory helps you a lot, though it is a metaphysical explanation, including the epistemological analysis is there, but still more, much more pragmatic and much more relevant in compared to Nyaya-Vaisesik explanation, and giving a realistic explanation of the theory, where mind plays a very important role, instrumental role. So two different kinds of mind. One as a process, works to analyze the world, and one as an instrument. So which mind you think is much more relevant for the CoAIM theory?
Well, I would like to say, ma'am, here that that there are four minds, as I explained, the physical one here, then the astral, where we keep on in the dream state and we keep on thinking about things like that. And then there is a causal mind and then universal mind. So what I'm trying to say is that, well, what Vedic knowledge is there about the minds, we got to really straighten that up and understand that mind is nothing but information of time. The driving force is you. I just give you a small little example. Say the first requirement of my body is my hunger. Now that hunger withdraws my attention. I mean, my hunger is now putting all that information to the attention because it is all knowing, all pervading. So that attention really takes my body stepwise towards the kitchen because the attention is taking me towards the kitchen. By the time I'm going to the kitchen, my mind adds on the information of the taste it had earlier. Ganguram halwai ka dahi bhalla usko khana hai. So this information is now there. There's a good food lying there. It is wisdom that he should eat the food which is lying there. Mother has prepared it. It's a good, healthy food. But the mind is taking it towards the junk food. And that fellow will take the things, Now, what really happens? Mind informs you, well, the mummy has kept the money there. It is providing information. Mind tells you the vehicle is standing there. Mind tells you the information, the shop is there. So this is how mind tells you to bring that thing, because through the taste buds, it has registered in the mind and it remembers that area because mind is working like that. And we must understand that it is the attention, whether we give it to the mind or we don't give it to the mind. So sometimes if it is not wise enough, if it is not wisdomful or it is not right, it is not judicious, then you got to learn how to ignore this ignorant mind, because all the time it is repeating and involving you into those things, which is bringing you past and future. And I was even saying that the universal mind runs your mind. It implements that karma theory. So I think we got to sit, Jayanti ji, together and sort out this particular problem. And
yeah, I will share your contact details. See, the professor in University of Delhi, and you are also there in Delhi. So I will share your contact detail to him.
She has
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Alok ji, she has visited our place earlier.
Oh, sir.
We also had come to our place.
We have another program from 5:30. So I will request Professor Singh for final comments, please.
The final comment going to be less than 1 minute. It's really a wonderful discussion. There are some positive things, but in this world there are negative things also. There are a lot of information, and when the attention is brought, then there is a lot of business. Religion is a business. Religion becomes a business where people start telling you how to think, how to pay attention to, what to do. So there is so much control. In terms of evolution, a lot of things have become extinct. Not necessarily the superhumans going to be there. Humans might become extinct. And so that's another possibility. And but it is really a good discussion to continue. I think my suggestion would be to have a workshop or something where the more discussion can happen, more ideas can come, like Prashant Shukla ji said. It is important to have continue this discussion. There are so many issues here, even in Higgs boson, just to let everybody know that is really the name God particle was given in a joke, because they wanted to make joke of God, not give the seriousness of the God particle. And there are a lot of other issues there too. So I think we should be aware of all this when we are trying to use the science or scientific methodologies to explain spirituality, because sometimes it just takes it to the wrong place. On the other hand, this discussion is very important to have so that we can start extracting the information and moving towards understanding our world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Dr. Bhardwaj, for this lecture. And we will move ahead, as Professor Singh suggested, for a workshop, for a detailed one-day discussion, because we have much more points. I personally have some question queries, but we have very short of time. And through these discussion, we can, point out the theory and the focal point where we can make the world sustainable. So thank you very much to Dr. Bhardwaj and to all who have joined Philosophy Cafe. Next month, we will come with another speaker with new idea. So thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.